thank you for coming back to my podcast, Everything Multiple Sclerosis. Please stay tuned because today I'm going to be talking about some more of my symptoms that I have and what I go through on a daily basis. So sit tight. Hello. Once again, thank you for coming back to my podcast. This is Everything Multiple Sclerosis. My name is Penny. For those of you who have not seen me or have seen my videos, I talk about being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and symptoms and some resources I've shared in other videos. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about what I go through on a daily basis. And it starts off with, well, I don't sleep very much. Unfortunately, I toss and turn all night. It's due to pain. I can't get comfortable. And it's usually a burning pain because nerve pain is what it is. I do have times throughout the day that I have some balance issues and some sight issues. I tend to get during the evening hours when I'm a little overly fatigued, then I'll have speech problems and I just don't function properly. Like my body doesn't want to be working like it should be. I also have trouble getting out the words I want to say, or I misspeak, and I try not to, but well, there's nothing I can do about it. Other symptoms I have a slight drop foot on the left side. All my problems are usually on my left side. What else? I have short-term memory loss. So you could tell me things, and no sooner you tell me, and I cannot tell you what you just told me. I'm not good with names. I am good with faces. Just names, no. No, at all, unfortunately. Let's see, what else? I have urgency sometimes to urinate, of course. I have bladder spasms. Memory, like I said, is really bad. I have a habit of repeating myself at times as well. I know that gets on people's nerves, but there's nothing I can do about it because I don't know if I just forget who I said what to. So I tend to repeat. So yeah, it's a really, even I get on my own nerves sometimes, but yeah. I will take a small break and I will be right back. Yeah, I'm back. Thank you for sticking around. I do have an awful problem with saying I don't know why I do it. It's just, I guess, habit. I will try to notice if I say it. Anyway, I go through bouts of blurriness in my vision. I'm always fatigued. That's basically all for it. Nothing too bad. In the beginning of the diagnosis, it was a lot. I was going in the hospital every 3 months, and every time they had put me, well, I was in the hospital for a month, and then they would put me in the rehabilitation center hospital, and they would have to teach me how to walk all over again, and I had to go through speech therapy and physical therapy and occupational therapy. But I'm doing really, really good right now. I'm just thankful for every day that I have. I take every day as it comes because I never know if I'm going to be okay or if I'm going to be overly fatigued, even though I had plenty of rest or whatnot. Basically, it's basic symptoms of MS. It's the dizziness, it's the vertigo, it's the, incognitance, it's the cognitive problems, it's the balance issues, it's speech issues, the walking, the gait issues. But I have progressed in my MS. I went from relapsing remitting to secondary progressive smoldering, which means it's on the back burner and it's just in the pot simmering, just waiting to rear its ugly head out. But I've been off of medication now for almost 7 years since taking the Mavenclad, which was that chemotherapy drug, and I'm doing really good, and I'm very happy for that. So I'm going to take another break, and I have to look up some more information that I want to talk about. So please bear with me. I'll be right back. Hi, thank you for coming back. So where was I? I wanted to talk about something that I was talked about once before. It's called plasma transfer. What it is blood is removed via a catheter separated by a centrifuge. Plasma is then discarded and the remaining cells are returned with replacement fluid. And I had synthetic plasma. But basically, I haven't had to have any kind of medication in almost 7 years due to that Mavenclad that I took. So I'm very thankful for that Mavenclad drug in more ways than one. But I'm doing really, really good. Like I said once before, I have my good days and I have my bad days, just like anybody else. Even people that don't have multiple sclerosis have good days and bad days. So I'm not like any other, I'm just like everybody else. I do believe in, living each day to the fullest. Don't take nothing for granted and advocate for yourself. If you don't like the answer they give you, advocate. Always advocate. And if you feel like you can't advocate for yourself, get a hold of me. I gave my email address. Get a hold of the Multiple Sclerosis Society. Get a hold of your doctor, your best friend, your mother, your father, anybody, your pastor, anybody. But don't let it go. It took them 4.5 years to figure out what was the matter with me, and I never gave up. I got a first opinion, second opinion, third opinion, fourth opinion, fifth opinion. I didn't care. If I didn't like the answer they gave me, I kept it up and kept it up and kept it up. I went to the ER. I was like, look, I am not going home until you tell me what's going on. Something is wrong. So never give up. That's not part of my vocabulary. So I'm going to take a break and I will be right back. Enjoy the music. I'm so tired of hearing, well, you don't look sick. Well, how am I supposed to look? Like, I might not look like I'm sick from the outside, but from the inside, you have no clue what's going on. Like, my body on the inside's in a war with itself. Literally. It's like me saying, oh, well, you don't look like a person that steals from Walmart. What does a person that steals from Walmart look like? Like, you can't say that. It could be anything or anybody. I also want to tell you about this neurologist that I had earlier in the diagnosis. I went to this neurologist, and he was telling me, there's nothing wrong. Like, I don't know why you're having these symptoms. Well, first of all, I got up in the morning, and I couldn't feel my legs. They were like rubber bands. Your body doesn't do that for no reason. Something's got to be wrong. So then he puts me in the hospital and runs all these sorts of tests. And I said to him one day, well, if nothing's wrong, why are you putting me in the hospital? Hello. He told me, oh, it's all in your head. I want you to see a shrink. Years and years later, I had to go back and see another neurologist because my old neurologist then, prior to that, I did fire that neurologist that told me it was all in my head. But years then, after that, I went back to see this neurologist, and I knew who he was. And he was the only doctor at that time in my area that would take my insurance. So I went back to him and he said, haven't I seen you before? And I said, yeah, you have seen me before in the past. You told me it was all in my head. And I just wanted to tell you that you were actually right. It was all in my head. And then I fired him again for the second time. And he said, what do you mean? I said, it was multiple sclerosis. So you were right. It was in my head. So don't let them tell you that it was all in your head, because your body doesn't act crazy for no reason. It doesn't attack itself for no reason. There's a reason why you're feeling the way you feel. Do not give up. So thank you so much for coming back to my podcast. Please like and subscribe and check the notification bell to let you know when I post new content. So until the next episode, have a great one and Stay blessed.